thought that was kind of creative, but I just look like an idiot. I think you guys can read this video is about ivy. I think many artists like to get inspiration from Pinterest, and I do too. But sometimes I get inspired by Wikipedia. I'm serious. I googled a lot of things about ivy. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, just tell me. And if not, then not. It's just something I really like to do. The actual term for ivy is hedera. What does it say in Wikipedia? Ground creeping woody plants. Actually, there's a wide variety of species. The common ivy, this one, it's called Hedera helix, and it is also known as the European or the English ivy. Kind of looks like a star. Immediately I have inspiration. Stars. I don't know how, but I will include stars. Oh my god, Hannah. Stars look like this. You can say that the common ivy has 5 sides or 5 spikes. There's a spider! The spider's gone. I don't know where it went. Cool. I'm inspired. All different kinds of ivy have a mechanism how they climb. I don't know what I was doing, but I was at some kind of stone wall. I was just sitting there and I was watching some ivy. I was thinking like, how does ivy attach itself to the wall? I tried to pull the ivy a bit from the wall. It didn't really move. And that's when I saw like these little roots that had like little feet. I found out how they really climb. Ivy has these tiny roots or tiny hairs that secrete like nanoparticles. And so they reach out their hairs to the wall, and with these glue-like nanoparticles, they stick to the wall, and then the hair kind of dries out and curls. And by that, the ivy pulls itself to the wall even closer. So what we have for now is tiny glue-like roots and star-like looking ivy. Ivy is also a big problem in some countries. It's actually pretty invasive and it's choking out other plants. I want to draw something low-key creepy. So maybe let's do a person who's slowly being taken over by ivy. So maybe we have the head looking in this direction towards us. They're doing this. I want the painting to have this kind of shape, like here we have a face. Let's make one of the eyes the shape of a star. Because why not? The arms that ivy has, I want that to be actual arms, like green hands or something. Hallo.
Du bist mit Efeu berankt.
Yeah, the face is being taken over by ivy, but like the skin is turning green and the hair is also turning green. Since ivy is so invasive, I think that's a pretty great way to portray it. The question is, what color is this side going to be? Either it's all gonna be white or maybe the complementary color red. And maybe she's like pulling the ivy. Yeah, the body is turning away like this. The arm is here, the hand is here. And she's pulling her hair. I think I want her real hair to be kind of short and her ivy hair to be longer. That sketch looks just horrible, but it's just a sketch. I want that look on her face to be like, kind of like, don't look at me. The pose I decided to do is this. She's looking at you and she's doing this. The front arm is doing this and the back arm is doing this. So when it comes to sketching or traditional art in general, you have the problem that you cannot actively flip your canvas. In digital art, for example, I don't like to do line art. I don't do line art. But for traditional art, especially watercolor, I like to do line art because my sketch is usually very messy. Before I do the line art, I actually take pictures and flip them. In traditional art, you cannot just Command Z whenever you like. You don't have that option. So yeah, I take pictures and flip them. I finally got rid of the hot pixel that was right here. It was bothering me for years and now it's gone. I feel good. So for watercolor I use this brush mainly and also this one. Here I have my color palette, and that's my watercolors. My technique is shading first and then colors sometimes, and sometimes it's colors and then shading. But now I think I want to do shading first. For the green shading, I want this one. And now I'm taking the big brush. Look at that nice green. Let's take this page as testing page. Yeah, that's a really strong green, as you can see. And that's why I want to mix it up with some water. I have to be careful because I have this here, but I also have this, which is my drinking glass. Today I'm not in the mood to drink any paint. Wait a minute. Oh no, oh no, oh. Ah. I got it all over my hands. I'm gonna add some water. This still looks like a very intense color, but once you put it on there, it's actually way more light. Watercolor is all about layering, so it's okay to start off with a light color. Oh my god! No! I put the color in here, then I tilted it and it all went through here. Now my table's full of green paint. I'm shading everything in green. I feel like it. Out of all traditional mediums, I definitely like watercolor most. It's just so pretty, even though it's pretty hard to handle, but it also has this like really beautiful texture. I made some color swatches here because we want to paint the skin. Since skin has a more reddish tone and red is the complementary color of this one here, it should come out as some shade of brown. Now, what's important, these are dry. If they're kind of wet, you will get different results. Let's try an orange too. I'm taking this orange. Yeah, that's a bit more vibrant than the red, but that's too yellowish for the skin color. Okay, just to see how it looks, let's try out yellow as well. I want this kind of yellow. Yeah, it just looks like lime green. I'm gonna go with red. Let's gently dry it. Then I'm gonna start with the back arm. Watercolors are big, trust the process. Now that I'm almost finished with the watercolor, I like to add some more outlines and details with a thin liner. I need a tip like this. Like this. Look, look. Okay. No, my food! Okay. So this is the final result. On to the next one. Okay, I want to do 5 in total. And the next one I picked is Hedera algeriensis. I don't know how to pronounce it. I just have it from Wikipedia. I think it looks very pretty. It has white edges. And it's common on the North African coast. Even though I believe that I've seen it. Oh, also in California. But I don't live in California. What's the case for many ivies or all ivies, I don't know, is that it provides cover for roof rats and snails. And I want to include that here. Again, this is not an educational video, but rather art. Let me take a look at how roof rats look. Oh my god. I think you don't want to have them on your roof, but still, oh my god. They kind of look like my bunny. Snail. I always confuse the word snail with snake. I want to draw snails and snake rats. Roof rats. ASMR. Oh god, okay. I don't know if you can hear it on the mic, and I'm very sorry if you do. A house is being built right in front of my window. I want to do cool hair. If you know Zenitsu from Demon Slayer, I'm aiming for something like that. I want the hair to have 2 colors, and I want it to be kind of chunky. Here's the green part and here's the white part, and now just add more. So it's gonna be pretty similar to the previous one, like the skin tone. Maybe a bit more red, but that's just an idea here. Maybe partially colored eyes, green and white again. And now, snails and roof rats, right? And now I want these rats and, oh, snail. I want them to be here. Well, not on my shoulders. I don't want snails on my shoulders. So the snail is here. It's a pretty big snail. And the red is here. Maybe there's also a snail on the head. This is what I want, and this is what I'm gonna sketch now. Since she's like providing shelter for animals, I gave her a more soft expression. So now I'm gonna do the same thing again. Where's my brush? Can you tell that I'm more concentrated when I'm not talking? I'm a person that's always talking, and I also did that during driving lessons, and at one point my driving teacher was like, Sophia, please just stop talking. And after a while I was like, are you mad or something? And he was like, no, you should just concentrate on driving. I can be concentrated when I'm talking. Not always, but sometimes, yeah. When this is dry, I'm gonna do the same thing again, like I did here. I keep spilling paint. You can already see that the red is more red than the previous one. I was getting confused with the hair because I didn't know which part was white and which part was green, but I managed to do it somehow. Do you know what I love about watercolor? You can just layer things and layer and layer and layer, and somehow you don't have to stop layering. Of course, you kind of have to learn how to handle watercolor paint. I can show you my first watercolor thing actually. A quick warning, I also didn't know much about anatomy. I only have like these few pages left, and once they're filled in, I'm gonna do a sketchbook tour. So if you want a sketchbook tour, tell me in the comments. I have some freshly pressed orange juice from actual oranges, because we had some left. Damn, that tastes good. Wait. I have something important to say to all artists or people in general whose wrists start to hurt very quickly. Just use a wrist brace, trust me. This is not sponsored or anything. This is just a great tip, because anytime I wear this, I can draw for hours without my hand even starting to hurt. It prevents a lot of pain. Let me show you what I just mixed. This. It looks very interesting so far. Now you can barely even recognize what this is supposed to be. Here as well. Cool. See what I almost did there? I don't want to drink this. I haven't painted with watercolors in quite a long time, so I'm really happy with this. I struggle a bit with the color of the snail. Like the snail on the right, and I ended up making it somehow brownish, but I like the snail on the top. I think that's the most beautiful snail in this painting out of two. These two paintings have very different vibes. I think I started this video in October and now it's January, and that's simply because I had my hands full with creating Christmas presents. Next up is Hedera rhombea. It's also called the Japanese ivy. If you go on the Wikipedia page, the first thing you see is those berries, and I want to include these somehow. This species is mostly found in laurel forests, and that's a type of cloud forest. You don't know what a cloud forest is, because I didn't know either. It's a very cloudy and foggy forest, and if I can, I want to include it too. Let me take a... I'm gonna make a quick sketch of the actual thing, like the picture you can find on Wikipedia. There's not a lot of information about the berries though. I think they're poisonous, which makes it even more exciting for my drawing, obviously. I got a little too excited on the shading again. I think the berries would look very pretty as a hair ornament. Let's paint a side profile real quick. Okay, just like this. Actually, I don't have a plan what I'm going for. Let's put the berries in here and a leaf to not make it look like some kind of disease. You know what I also thought of just now? Black eyes. By black eyes, I mean black eyes. Smoke, clouds. Wait, I can make smoke coming from her mouth. And the smoke coming from her mouth is like circling around her. Wait a minute. There's so much going on in my mind that I just have to I got a lamp now, but everything looks really ugly. A side profile. That is loud. Okay, I don't like the space up here. So, the hair ornament is here, but there's a leaf going up. And of course, don't forget the smoke. And of course, add the berries. Okay, I started this speed paint just now, but my family wants me to watch Spirited Away with them. So I think I have to finish this tomorrow. The movie was great. We all really enjoyed it. But now I want the color. The color of the berries is close to this. Here we go. You know what, let's put some black down here as well, and then mix it with a bit of water. And then use a tissue and just go like this. Gives it a really nice effect. The leaves are actually like a bright green, but I don't really want yellowish tones in here. Or do I? You know what, I really want to do colorful art again. So let's just add this green. It looks out of place, but we'll see. Oh god. Okay. Now, what can I do about the hair? Because I don't want to leave it like that. I'm gonna make it black too. No. Yes. Let's see. I'm not staying in my comfort zone by adding things I don't know if they're gonna work out. The complementary color of green is red. I want to add a tone that has a bit of red in it. For example, purple. Oh, this is interesting. Now let's shade the leaves with a bit of blue. I want to add red to the berries. The kids outside sound like they're slaughtering each other. What the? I love painting with colors. Because my art style used to be really vibrant. I got way out of my comfort zone, but I love it. That colorful look is really what I love to paint. I really love to use colors. And I'm gonna use colors from now on. And I'm gonna eat colors. Good morning! Some parts are a bit loud. I'm so sorry. So next up I have the Hedera colchia. So this species grows more rapidly in warm climates. For example, the Middle East. It has an interesting shape because it's hanging. And it's also very long. So it's hanging. It grows in warm climates. I think we can work with that. Oh yeah, and here's some kind of flower. It reminds me of a skirt. Or do I want to get more creative? Let me search the internet a bit more. Strauchefeu, kaukasischer Efeu, persische... 4 Minuten nehme ich schon auf. Oh Gott, was ist denn los hier? Oh! It has the largest leaves of any ivy, to 15 centimeters wide and 25 centimeters long. Let me add some branches. Maybe I can work with that. Maybe not. You know what? It just reminds me of a dress. Wait. A dancer. A dancer with long fabric. But instead of fabric, it's this. I don't know what the dancer is doing. I want ivy to be here and act as a skirt. Let me try out the arms. I want yellow to represent summer. So maybe there's some kind of sun in the background. This is the sun. And this is the dancer. They're dancing a bit out of the frame. That way I don't have to draw hands, but... And now I have to attach the ivy. This is taking a nice form. I like it. I want a ponytail. This is what I have for now. As you can see, I didn't do a face because I'm struggling. Let me just get some more brain power. By the way, these liners are waterproof, so they don't smudge. And she's also looking up. That's why you see this piney tart. That's why you see this tiny part under her chin. I need tape. I just need this as a mask. I have a habit of sitting on my foot. I used to do that in school so I would be taller. I'm sitting on my foot right now. But now I just move out of the frame. That should work. Oh. If you're drawing a sun, you usually also use beams. Not beans, beams. I want to make them more blocky. I remember my art teachers being like, Don't use a ruler. You don't do that as an artist, but you can use a ruler all you want. It's already getting dark outside again. I think the orange is kind of out of place. It's always hit or miss, but that's okay, because even if this turns out to be a failure, you cannot become better at something if you don't fail. Also, this is my new bunny. Say hello. I just had to save him from loud kitchen sounds because he's not used to them yet and he's still kind of scared. But now I think they're done downstairs, so I'm gonna let you pee. The only problem is when I don't wear something white, my clothes are doomed. Good morning again. A black marker holds a whole lot of power. Because I did some extreme shading and now it looks better than before. It looks okay. Now let's move on to the last species of ivy that I have for this video. Spoiler alert, it's an imposter. And I'm talking about poison ivy. But poison ivy is not a member of the Hedera family, it's just called poison ivy. And it's rather a member of the cashew and pistachio family. I don't know what you want to do with that information, but its real name is Toxicodendron radicans. And yeah, it's known as poison ivy, which doesn't have its name without a reason. Because if you touch it, it hurts a lot. But I'm not speaking from experience, because poison ivy is only common in Asia and Eastern North America, so I'm safe. In Europe we only have stinging nettles. The difference is that poison ivy has some kind of oil on it, and if you get that oil on your skin it burns and causes rashes. And it's also pretty hard to get that oil off. I'm really sorry for all the people living in Asia or Eastern North America, because you have to deal with this horrendous plant. And poison ivy looks nothing like ivy. I could easily mistake it for just a random bush, because the leaves just look like regular leaves. And damn, the berries look disgusting. Before the berries become berries, they're actually flowers that look kind of pretty. Here's a flower. That's somehow the shape. And of course, compared to the leaves, the flowers are like this tiny. Okay, maybe this time I want a front perspective. But that looks a bit too innocent. You know what I really want to do for some reason? Black tears. I've never done black tears. Okay, black tears. What if I try a different perspective? I like this. It looks way more interesting than this. I want this one to be really dark, and the only thing that is like bright are the eyes, and they're gonna be a poisonous green. It's maybe a bit overused, but this person is holding a mask. Let's just pretend that this looks like a normal hand. Just a quick reminder, don't use normal erasers on watercolor paper, because it will get some of the texture off and the paper is not gonna absorb color anymore if you scratch it off. Use this instead. Now I wanna use a bit of masking fluid. I use this here, it's from the same brand as my watercolors, and I wanna use it for the eyes. I use old brushes and a separate water cup, so none of this comes in touch with my actual watercolors. And once it's dry, I can start painting. Okay, it's finally dry. Let's paint this whole thing with dark green. Ooh, that's cool. I don't even know if this piece is about poison ivy anymore, because it's kind of relatable. I always wanted to avoid using popular themes like this one, but there's no point in holding back really. Do what you want to do. It's time to get rid of the masking fluid. Ooh. Oh my god. And now the green. I want the white of the eye to actually be as dark as the rest as well, so the irises can really pop out. But let's wait for it to dry first, because I don't want any color to get into that beautiful green. The paint is still wet. Now I have to dry my brush and pick up some color. Oh, watercolors is So much layering. I think I kind of screwed up the perspective because the sketch looks a bit better. And that's it. It's different from what I usually draw. I kind of want to do more edgy stuff like that because I feel like I think I still care too much about what people think of me. If you do emotionally charged art like this, you can be judged by people who don't understand it or people who are just creeped out. For me, it's been like 4 months because I had too much stuff in between. But now to summarize, here's the common ivy. Here's the Algerian ivy. Here's Hedera rhombea, or also called Japanese ivy. Hedera colchia, my least favorite, but I still kind of like it. And this is poison ivy, or Toxicodendron radicans. So yeah, to the few thousand, hundred people watching this, thank you very much for watching to the end, and thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Even though I have over 100k subscribers right now, they're all from that one short. My account kind of feels like a ghost town. Because there's like 1,000 people watching this. And yeah, if you're one of these people, I appreciate you being here and thank you so much for supporting me.